Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome back to me interviewing homeless people. Here you go. Tell us your story, sir.
I ate a man.
And is it rough for you eating a man?
No, I actually like it. I like it a lot.
And how do you fend for yourself? How do you eat?
I start at the ankles.
This is gonna be great for my Instagram. I love interviewing homeless people.
Yeah. Do you have a job?
No, I'm a stand-up comedian. I get paid in bananas.
That doesn't count as a job.
I know that.
Yeah. Can I actually? How much money do you make a year?
That's a real question.
That is a real question. How much money do you make a year? Can you tell us that? That's actually, I'm very curious.
Do you file taxes?
It was funny as I aspire.
Wait, okay, also, are you a full-time
the
comedian?
camera.
Or do you have a job on the side?
I've technically.
Why are you walking away?
Fuck it. Okay. We'll move on there.
No, I don't
That was the lovely Brent Lowry.
It got too real.
It got too real. Once you start asking a comedian about his taxes and shit, niggas don't want to talk.
That's the wrong
anymore.
question.
And
Fuck
white
it.
people too.
I was gonna say, but I'm a white person.
Are you supposed to be our safe haven or some shit?
No,
just meant
you just,
people.
yeah.
Oh, I'm always surrounded by white people. How do you feel being surrounded by white people? How's your comedy been affected only doing comedy for white people?
By the white people?
Like, how has your comedy been affected by only
What's
doing
cool
white
about white
rooms?
people is they listen. Black people don't.
Heard that.
Oh my God, this nigga's going crazy. He meant that shit, by the way.
No, I don't know.
No, be real.
Why-
Be real.
I think white
It's
people,
hard. Is that black rooms are way harder than white
Black
rooms? That's
rooms
a fact.
are hard.
That's not even a
They're
question.
not harder. I think they're different. I actually think I can do pretty good in the black room.
Well, because you don't
They're
look
good.
at them
I
as your
think they're not
family.
bad.
You
I'm
don't
not-
look at black people as your family members.
Yes,
when you see
I
a
do.
40-year-old black
yes,
woman,
I do, kinda. You saw that phone
Kind
call.
of.
You saw that phone call. I FaceTimed a black woman who called me her son.
Lucas, I just, for the whites in here that aren't sure, what are you?
White.
Okay, yeah. Just
All right,
wanted
fuck
to-
you,
I wasn't
Megan.
sure. I just didn't know. I didn't know.
A German.
Oh, okay.
What part of Germany?
Guten Tag.
I don't know.
I actually didn't know.
I don't know.
You could be ambiguous.
I was born in Berlin,
Yeah, that's cool.
so I'm more German than you.
Yeah, you are. Because all the people, like my family
That's
was
right,
born in
bitch.
Germany, but they had babies with a lot of black people.
Damn. How do you feel about that?
About my cousin Tyrone?
Do you have a cousin named Tyrone?
I
for
really
real?
do. He's a cool guy. Shout out Tyrone. He's huge. He cried a lot though. That's why I'm not scared of black people.
Yeah, is that why your voice cracks when you say black people?
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of black people.
Oh! I've been yelling a lot.
Okay. We're going to Texas. You've never been to Texas.
Yeah.
How do you feel about going to Texas for the first time? How do you feel your comedy's going to change being in that Texas audience?
I feel like I can say the crazier jokes. I think you can say whatever you want.
Do you feel like there's more like creative freedom being in Texas?
I don't know about creative freedom. I just feel like
Whoever said that is, I don't agree with that. Whoever just said that from off camera.
This is
fuck
going
that.
on YouTube. I'm
He's
not gonna
funny.
lie. I post.
I love
everything.
everything he says.
I really
Well,
post
that's
it.
what-
I feel
I
like
hear
nothing has been
as soon
problematic.
as you get to Austin, you're like, whoa, they say whatever they want. But then you're like, oh wait,
They all say that.
Everybody's just doing.
They're
shows.
becomes
performatively
acting
saying everything they want. That's my thing.
But I think that
It's
it's
like a reverse.
yes, the polar opposite.
It's literally reverse.
It's
Portland.
just as bad
Fascinating.
to me. Like the hyper woke person is just as bad as the hyper offensive
Yeah.
person.
Be yourself.
They both get
Be
applauses
yourself.
for no reason.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to do
Excited to
that.
see what you learn or figure out when you're there.
Have you been to Austin
I
yet?
went when they were just starting to like become Austin, so it was Creek and Cave had opened, but
Oh.
That's the mic. We have to
Mothership
hit that.
and-
We have to hit that mic.
the mothership hadn't opened, but it was a bunch of Joe Rogan like disciples coming there to try to be door guys
To
when the mothership opened
Yeah,
because they
damn.
had announced it, but it still took like a year to build.
Huh.
But you could feel it becoming whatever it is now, and Imani and Tori and Brian and Julia all went in February, and they said a lot of similar stuff.
Interesting.
That it was like the queer mics where they have you sign up queer comics and then straight white dudes on the other side of the list. It was like that,
But the opposite.
kind of, yeah, where it was like
White women and queers on one side.
well,
It's gonna
like
be
the
interesting.
straight
It's
white
gonna be a
dudes
fun.
were the
It's gonna be a
ones
fun moment.
pandering. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
It's a bunch of pandering. Like comedy is a survival sport.
That's why I
get
kind
the
of like.
idea of like the full sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
no talk.
course.
This is a free.
This
free
is
space.
fun.
Well, the full opposite. I get that. That would be annoying. I don't know.
It's all annoying. If there's
all
pander,
annoying.
if there's pander in the art form, it gets annoying.
That's why I haven't hated doing comedy in Portland, because I feel like I'm never gonna pander one way or the other.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just gonna
that makes
do
it
jokes
fun,
that
though.
pertain to me.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun, dude.
That's what you should do.
Yeah,
but
in
people-
general.
but people
I-
are-
If it's easy to pander, I think.
Oh, here we
you're
go.
gonna
Here we
just
go.
do that.
How do you feel? Like, do you see like our scene in particular, Portland, like being like coerced to go in a certain direction, and is that ruining the artistic integrity of comedy?
I like how Portland does it. I've done in every city I've done. I think Portland's actually important. I think we have the most women doing comedy in a city. Every city I've done comedy, it's like women are like rare. It's like, oh my god. I think it's cool how we have a different vibe. I think every city should be a different vibe. That's why I think it's cool.
Yeah,
how we do
I
it.
think Portland teaches you how to think.
Yeah.
Like, you could do the hacky joke,
You're gonna-
but you want to think it all the way through.
But then it's not hacky now.
Right, and
Because
now
you thought
yeah.
about how to get. It's like it's a hack. Maybe it's like a hacky idea. It would have been hacky, but you
Portland-
couldn't do it the same way.
Portland doesn't reward low-hanging fruit.
No.
If you play
At
off of
all.
stereotypes, they're like,
Yeah.
that's too, and that might work if you did a joke about how all Asians are bad drivers. Any of those tags or punchlines in Portland just get like a scoff, and so to say something that's like kind of edgy, you have to
Think
kind
it.
of do it within the rules of Portland, and there's still ways to break those rules, but you have to kind of play by them. And whereas people who come from like the Midwest or Austin to Portland, they're gonna do one joke, lose the audience, and be like, "What the fuck's wrong with them?"
And that's why when we leave, we don't have those rules. And now it's like, oh, I can be an asshole, and that's kind of fun too.
it's
I think no matter what, you're gonna have to adjust, but you'll be able to be freer, whereas they're gonna have to come be like more restricted,
right.
or just accept that they're gonna lose 90% of the crowd the first time they do a joke about trans people.
And it's like, oh, that's cool. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Maybe they can go home and tell Austin and tell people.
That's what they tell
Yeah,
themselves,
the
but,
Portland
like,
crowds are pussies, but there's
You just bombed.
ways to still make
Yeah.
them
Right.
laugh.
Right.
I want to make that crowd laugh. I want to make every crowd laugh.
Okay,
that's
here we
the
go.
point.
Now that we're there, we're at exactly where I want to be in the conversation. PFP, making the crowd laugh. How do you feel the competition aspect of comedy? How do you feel those things intertwine with still doing comedy in a productive way that suits you?
I think it's like, you can say comedy is subjective, but you can tell when someone kills.
Yeah, but if you're
That's why I'm
living if
not
you're
too
living in
mad
a
at
city like Portland where there's restrictions on what you can say and how you can say it, how do you incorporate that in the competition realm of doing comedy?
We know what the audience is going to be.
So are you going to do specific jokes that you know are going to make people feel comfortable so that you can win a competition in Portland?
Yes.
That's what I did in Seattle.
Yes. Why wouldn't
That's what you did in Seattle?
I didn't do any of my race material when it was competition rounds that mattered. I took all the jokes that I knew I liked, but I went, these are a bunch of 50, 60-year-old people who are going to see their one comedy show of the year in a performing arts center.
Okay.
They would rather, I opened with jokes about my grandma. So they're like, oh, he loves his grandma.
Okay,
And
here
I
we
never
go.
really took them to the places that I knew Seattle and Portland crowds didn't want to go.
But you
because-
knew-
because it's being scored, and it's like these people don't have comic. They're not like savvy.
So that takes away from what you actually wanted to do.
Oh, that's where I'm moving. We're going somewhere.
But it's still-
How do you feel? Because like being rewarded in a competition of your art,
Pointed at him.
when you feel like you kind of didn't do exactly what you intended to create.
So the one thing, and this is a little bit of a flex, but the one thing that was kind
No
of
flex. This is the place for flex.
I think you're very good. I would
That's
love
what I.
you to flex.
He
I don't
pisses
think
me
that's
off
bad.
honestly
I don't
because
think
he's
that's
fucking
that
the
good.
one
He
thing
is,
that was
I
kind of
agree.
cool.
I would love to hear what you had to say.
The one thing that was nice was that in the competition you did 5 nights, but you would get to drop your lowest score. So for 3 straight weeks, going into the last night, I already had it locked up.
You already had his. I remember
So
seeing
the first
that.
16, with the first round of 16, I knew like I could bomb on Sunday and still make it to the top 10. On the second round, I knew I could bomb the Sunday and make it to the top 5. And the last night, I had it locked up that I was gonna win.
What? You won? Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
this nigga won. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
This is not even spoiler. This is hella old. This been spoiled.
Oh, okay.
I like that competition. I think that's one of the
Okay,
most
so
great
did you do artistic
So
sets?
Sunday nights would be the nights that I would go out and tell people how much I didn't like Seattle,
Yeah.
and that my girlfriend's black, and I do these jokes about race, and it's like, haha, if you don't like it, it doesn't matter.
I already won.
Every Sunday set kind of had the energy of like, you really can't judge me tonight because I'm just here for me. And that was kind of how I think that was how I was able to still be having fun on the last week, because I was having sets where I still got to remind myself, I'm not just playing, like I still have some comedic integrity. I can still do, like I did the last set of the semifinals, I closed on my joke about the N-word, and it was so funny because as soon as I went into the setup, somebody's Siri went off and they went, I'm sorry, what did you say? And I was like, oh shit, even Siri's like, please don't do this. Those were the nights that kept it fresh.
But I feel like that's like almost a microcosm of what comedy is. Like you had to earn the ability to be kind of
To
artistic.
taper jokes off. No,
You had to earn to
even
do
bigger
what
than
you
that.
wanted to do.
You had to earn the ability to kill enough to know that you could take off one of your favorite
And-
jokes and still win.
I had to play by their rules for 4 nights so that I could play on my
and do
terms
whatever
for
you
one.
wanted to do.
Right.
And then that's like that's
But
a
some niggas,
microcosm
yeah.
of getting your own audience and doing what you want to do every single night.
Well, yeah, because the first time you go to a club, like this weekend was the first time I did a full weekend at Laughs. I'm not really going up there to take too many risks or do too much like.
You have to
lying
kill.
on set.
Your job is
I'm
to
going
kill.
there to show the owners that
There's
I can
no
maybe
fucking
come
around.
back and headline, or maybe at least be somebody that they want to have come back and feature again.
Okay.
And then the second time, when it's more comfortable and I feel like I've already proved myself, then I'll fuck around. So it is a microcosm of what the game is. Is like you have to still play. It's a compromise, right?
Work.
You could do everything you want to your artistic integrity, but like
It's a done.
that might not get you many. Okay, how do I say?
No,
this?
we're putting the pressure on you a little bit right now.
Seen some people who start comedy just brazenly doing whatever they want, and they don't play to the gatekeepers and
That was
stuff.
very
But then
cute.
nobody really wants to play with them, you know? And it's like you still have to make yourself. You have to be somebody people want to play with before you kind of get to
Play with is a funny adjective. I feel like you could have picked a different one.
No Diddy.
But in my brain, I go, does any? I hope someone wants to play. In my brain, I was like, oh man, I hope someone wants to play with me. Like I just,
Why would no one play with me?
Listen.
That's why
People want to play with you.
Yeah.
All right, people definitely want to play with you, and you're all right. You'll be
I
okay.
just
People
felt
in
so
wheelchairs.
anxious. I just felt
People want to play with Megan Otto to the point that other people are like, why is everyone playing with Megan Otto?
Yeah. Why? When is my turn to play? So, how long do you want to do comedy until you're headlining on a regular, consistent basis? You're at year 5
years.
technically.
I
so-
think year
Love
10 is the
y'all.
perfect.
I
year.
love you too,
Yeah, yeah.
motherfucker.
Thanks for letting me do that. I'm
Dude,
glad I
he's
flexed
great.
without being on camera.
Don't
No,
let
it's awesome,
Brent
dude.
Lowry's
Thank you.
at- Brent Lowry's
Oh,
at
I
year
don't- I
10,
don't
year
wanna
9.
be in the-
Brent,
I'm
how
in a-
long you done?
I'm so excited to hear all about your,
Oh, fuck
tour that you guys are going on.
Oh hell yeah!
How
Thank
long you done
Brent.
comedy?
This is cute.
This is my 10th year.
10th year.
10th year.
Yeah, 5 more
Make
years.
some, yeah.
If I suck
Make some invisible noise for
Like,
Brent
imagine
Lowry.
Still working with hacks. One day
Like, imagine if Brent sucked. If I was Brent and I sucked, I'd kill myself. That's bad. That is bad.
I did not do that.
Are we taking a shot? Let's do
Can
it.
I
Yeah,
come
man.
in?
Come on, man.
Yeah,
You're
please
fucking
do.
family.
You want to share?
You worked at Adidas, which makes you
I
even
do
cooler
work at
that you have that
Adidas.
fucking hoodie on right now.
Don't fire me.
Woo!
It was just a little. There wasn't.
That was a
we killed
great
it.
segment.
I love talking.
That's getting posted.
That's crazy.
This is
Brent's
fire.
fun to talk to.
Yeah.
I'm about to restart this.
Brent's a
bitch.
10-year comic. I love
Honestly.
talking to a 10-year